we go. I think I'm all set up. Wires everywhere. I can barely see anything past all the recording equipment, but there we go. I'll try and keep an eye on that chat. Right, how are we looking? How are we looking? Let's close out that. Okay. Okay. Ooh, sweet. Ooh, very nice. I just won an eBay auction. Hey. Just sort that out real quick. There we go. Is anybody out there? Is anybody watching? That is the question. Good evening, Addy. Addy. Good to have you along. Well, I'm going to get started and, you know, whoever joins. So, yeah, so what we have here is a Sega Saturn I was looking at the other night. I was pretty tired the other night, and quite honestly, I was being a bit of a clown with this. I've done some work on this already, actually. I've recapped a good portion of this board. Not that it super needed it, because most of the caps that I removed were testing just fine with my ESR meter. The only ones I didn't replace were the AV 220 microfarad caps. So I don't think that's strictly necessary because they test okay. So I'm not going to be focusing on that in this stream. But what I am going to be focusing on is figuring out why we only get a black screen with this thing. And if I power it up, all we'll get on our image capture is just a dead black screen. Hey, welcome Angela. This one, you might like this video, this stream a bit more. I'm doing something a bit more advanced for once, rather than just poking around like a clown. So yeah, I'm gonna get stuck right into this. We know we get a black screen output. Hey, Jinxonator, yo. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the RGB inputs on the RGB chip and work our way backwards across the board to figure out why we're getting just a black image. The fact that we're able to get a black image means that we must be getting some kind of RGB out. It's just not going to be RGB out with any actual information on it. Hey Raj, welcome. So yeah, we're going to work our way back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of this under the microscope. Actually, before I do that though, we'll check the voltages and so on. I need to power this up. As you can see, I've got this jank setup here. This is the actual Saturn power supply, which I've wrapped in Kapton tape just because, you know, it is AC and it is going to be live, so I don't want to bump it and accidentally fry myself. Fair enough, Angela. But yeah, in this case, because I've only got a bench power supply that has one output, and this thing requires 3 separate voltages, I'm just using the original power board. What I am going to do is check that the voltages are relatively stable when this thing's under load, so when we've got it powered on. So yeah, you can see here what I've done is I've soldered the different power rails direct to the bottom of this motherboard. We've got a 3.3 volt, a 5 volt, a 9 volt rail, and obviously ground as well, so we've grounded it. I've been around, Jinx. I've been around. You probably see me on Booters streams a fair bit. Yeah, I've been around. I've just not been streaming so much. I did stream the other night though. But yeah. Anywho, yeah, like as I say, I've already recapped this board. Not every single cap, because I didn't have any 220 microfarad caps here that would actually fit under the EMI shield. And I didn't have a 330 UF cap there, but they actually are testing fine with the ESR meters, so we're good on that. Yeah. One thing I have looked at as well, you probably can't see it too well. But right here I have replaced this battery as well, because apparently that can cause black screen issues, but it's not that. That battery's fine. So yeah. Anyway, let's get stuck in. We're going to be using schematics for this one as well. So if I switch over to a new scene that I have created right here, and we come across our first target is going to be this RGB encoder chip right here. Let me see if I can get that into shot where you'll be able to see that okay. Yeah, I'd streamed super late, Jinx. You were probably asleep. I think I started streaming at 2 AM and finished at around 6 AM, something like that. It was a bit crazy. But yeah, so we've got the RGB chip here. What we're going to do is we're going to check the RGB inputs into this chip. And those inputs, I believe, are fed in from... I forget which chip now. It might actually be the 5687. But we'll find out. So if I flip back over to this cam view here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug this in, because obviously I don't have a switch or anything hooked up to this. I've had to bridge the switch pins. So yeah, let's get this powered on. Oh, if my stream cuts out abruptly, I've flipped the breaker. That happened to me the other day. Like, it just literally flipped the breaker and like everything terminated. So that shouldn't happen today, but you never know. Right, so this is now receiving power. Let's move that out of the way. If we switch over to our video capture right here, and if I now switch this to the RGB, we can see we're getting a 15.62 kilohertz signal with a 50 hertz VSync. So we know we're getting something out of this. So coming back to this, as I say, we will be using schematics on this one. So let's just get this area nice and well lit. And maybe about there. You can see there I've overlaid schematics, and we've got a Gaza Dazzler, welcome. So yeah, we've got the schematic here with the block diagram. You should be able to see this reasonably okay. I know it's transparent and so on, but there we go. So we can see that on the block diagram we've got the RGB encoder chip, and if we come across, the RGB encoder is fed by VDP2. VDP1 and VDP2 together are the graphics processing chips. They have slightly different responsibilities on the system. I believe one deals with things like sprite generation and stuff like that, and the other deals with image generation. So VDP2 generates the actual image, whereas VDP1 deals with sprites and so on. Yeah, and we can see that both VDPs are fed by the B bus, which are BD0 through to BD15, and those look like they are generated on this SCU, which I think is the system control unit, which in turn is connected up to the SH2, master and slave, which are the processors. So as we're going to be working our way back, we'll start at this RGB encoder. So what we're going to do is look at the pinouts for the RGB encoder, which should be in this document somewhere. What we got? That's the SCU. That's the address lines it uses. And BD bus. So that generates the BD bus. So we might need to come back to this. Let's go down to the next schematic. What do we have here? This looks more promising. So we've got the VDP2 here. That's hooked up to VRAM, which is good. And what do we have? So that feeds the video circuit at 13. So we still need to find that video circuit because we want to work our way back. So what do we have? What do we have? I don't think it's this one. No. Might be the next page. No. Where's our video circuit? Oh. Is this it? Where's RGB on here? I have looked at this earlier, so... There it is, RGB, CN5. What does that feed? So we've got our EM filters. And we've got R out, G out, B out on IC21, which I'm pretty certain is this Sony chip, but it will be labelled IC21. So there we go. Hey Jaden, welcome. So what we're going to do then is we're going to meter out RGB, which is pin 21, 22, 23. So let's take a look at those. So if we just come over to the bench now, let's hook up the oscilloscope. I need to ground it somewhere. I'll ground it onto the AV port. There we go. So what pins were those? Those were pins 21, 2 and 3. So let's look under the scope. So that's going to be pin 1, 2, I think it's ordered like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So let's have a look. What do we have? Okay, we've got something on the scope. Let's try auto setting that. Okay, that's our 15 kilohertz signal. No, that's the wrong pin then. Okay. Because I believe that is one of the sync signals, so maybe it goes 1, 2 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Is that even hooked up to anything? I'm not sure I'm getting the pin out on this chip right. 15 kilohertz. Okay. Well, we have something. So that's 15 kilohertz. Well, this is a CXA1645M. Let's actually just look at the package. Stop playing, you Mr. Oscilloscope. Don't worry about typing on the phone. No worries there. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. Right. So what was that chip? The CXA1645. CXA1645. Let's check that pin out. Okay. Oh, that's some weird ordering. So the last 3 pins along the top on the left hand side, that is pin 21, 22, 23. That ordering is not quite what I expected, but that's fine. Hey Travis, welcome. So let's pop that into view a teeny bit better. So what I can do to probe these then is just probe the vias. So this one, what do we get in here? Okay. So we're just getting a flat 1.6 volts. What are we getting on this one? Get rid of that menu actually. So I think we're just getting the same thing. I think we're just getting high signals here. Yeah. 80 millivolts. Okay. Yeah, these are all high. They're not doing anything. So the RGB, they're all just high signals. Hey Micro, welcome, welcome. So yeah, we're getting on this RGB encoder. We're just getting bunk. It's just outputting a high signal, so that's no good. So what next then? We need to look at the RGB inputs, so that's pin 2, 3 and 4, which is, let me just check. I have to keep moving because of where my computer is. Bear with me. So yeah, I know you can, Jaden. So I need to check pin 2, 3, 4, which are, oh, that's strange. Pin 2, 3 and 4 are the bottom ones. So let's come back round. Doesn't look like they connect to anything actually. So if we come up a bit, these are the, oh, I've got a bit of fluff on my scope. Oh, look at this! Look at that! I'm outputting a 50 hertz signal. How freaky is that? I'm I'm running at 10 volts and 50 hertz. How about that? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, sorry, Jaden. Yeah, you absolutely can view. You can view voltages totally. Look, right now I'm running at 10.2 volts and 50 hertz. I'm just electric. But yeah, anyway, so we'll go with pin 2 here. What are we getting? We're just getting a high input. So that's high. That's high. And that's high. Okay. So, what does that imply? That implies that whatever feeds this RGB chip has a problem. Or whatever feeds that intermediate stage has a problem. So we'll work our way back. So what feeds into this chip? So let's go over to the schematics. Let's see what our schematics say. So what do we have? We have feeding IC21 here. This is the video circuit. RGB and C-Sync. Where is that generated from? I think that was generated from VDP2. So let's have a look. Pretty sure I saw that up here somewhere. What chip are you? Nope. Nope. Oh, VDP1 and VDP2. Okay, so we got VDP2. VDP2 is generating RGB on pins 82, 83 and 84. Hey, Dad'll Fix It. Welcome, welcome. So we go with pin 82, 83 and 84 on the VDP. The VDP being what I see is VDP2 IC14. So let's take a look at on the board for IC14. So let's go on a journey. Let me find it with eyeballs. Oh, it's right next to it. So here is IC14, and it's that big old chip there. And we needed pins 82, 83, 84. So, 82, 83, 84. What are we looking at on the board? We are looking at pin 80 up there, pin 41 up there. So, 81 is labelled conveniently. So that's 81. So 82, what are we getting? High. What are we getting here? High. And what are we getting here? High. And what are we getting here? Okay. Alright, so those are all high on the VDP2. So VDP2 isn't generating an RGB signal. VDP2 and VDP1 communicate with each other. So, what next then? Does VDP2 rely on VDP1? Or, Interesting. So, I guess I'm going to have to work my way even further back. So, they probably both connect to a data bus. Let's have a look at what data bus they rely on. What do we have? This BD bus. And what does that connect to? So if we follow the BD bus, that's the second line here, which is this line here. BD bus, which also feeds VDP1. So what we'll do now then, I guess we'll check the bus to see if there's any kind of activity on it. So I'm thinking we've got to go 20, 21, 22, 23, not 24. Okay. Can I zoom in more on that? No, I'm at maximum zoom. I want to zoom more. Okay, anyway. Let's have a look at those. Bin it and buy another. No, this is for a customer. It's not mine to bin. Right, so pins something or other. It's not as confusing as you might think, Jaden, but yeah, if you've got schematics, it helps. So we're starting at pin 20 and basically making our way over to pin 38, so we should see activity on some of those pins at least. Okay, pin 20. Where's pin 20 on this massive chip? Okay, it's going to be in the middle along the bottom, so let's have a look at that. Yeah, damn right, Gaza. It is retro gold. Sega Saturns were brilliant. I love the Sega Saturn. So, we want pins 20. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's pin 5. So that's going to be pin 10, 15, 20. So there's 20. Looks like it's just high, doesn't it? 5, 10, 15, 20. Just do the auto set. Ooh. High. 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 Okay, this doesn't look good, does it? So all of these pins, these are no connects. These are no connects, look. They look like no connects. Oh God. Am I not reading the schematic right, or are the connects under the chip and being fed from vias? Can I see traces behind them? So if we tilt the board, we can have a look. We should be able to see if there's traces running behind the pins with any luck. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ah, yeah. Okay, they are connected. So we can rule out that I'm not, you know, that I'm checking the wrong thing or something. Yep, getting a bit wobbly here. Where's our chip gone? Come back. Right, there we go. Let's get that back into focus. And there we go. You're right about it being a bit of a pain, Travis. Panzer Dragoon was great. Sega Rally was amazing as well, though. Sega Rally Championship. 5, 10, 15, 20, so... High. 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 10 volts quite high resolution, isn't it? Edge rising DC, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I can't remember the controls now. $10X, no, that's all good. So I guess we'll just play with the divisions. Let's go down to... Okay, hang about. We'll go to 1 volt per division. That doesn't look good. Look at that. You know, you'd be expecting to see something more like a square wave on this. That just looks like noise. Oh God, no wonder it looks like noise. My ground strap came off. Let me try again. Oh God, it came off again. Of course it's going to look like noise if I'm not grounded. Take 3. Right, we're grounded now, so that... Okay. Alright, let's set our volts per division to... Set it to 2 volts. Let me move the position back so we can actually see everything. Wait a minute. What's going on there? Wrong pin. What is going on there? Anyway. 20. High. 21. High. 22. High. 23 high, 24 is low, 25 high. So it looks like we've got nothing on this bus. The bus feeding this is giving us nothing. So we know our VDP2 isn't generating it isn't generating RGB out, and checking the VD bus, we can see that pretty much everything is just high. Did I see Booter in the chat? Computer Booter David! Hey bro! Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. So, yeah, welcome. Welcome along. Welcome all. So yeah, so what we can see then is this chip isn't feeding VDP2, which means that that VD bus isn't being generated. So now we've got to find the source of that VD bus. Okay, let's go back to schematics. So where is this VD bus generated from? That is the next question we've got to ask. Mega Mage, Mini Mage, Minuscule Mage. Just call him the Mage. The Mage. So, VD bus. VB bus? What was it? BD bus. Okay. So that is generated somewhere. So they both connect to it, so I suppose that's probably generated by some ASIC. So let's have a look. We're looking for this VB bus, VD bus. Hello, Golbarini. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, then, you know, you just throw heavy things at me. So VBus, let's see. So that's just going to be RAM, isn't it? Yeah. What's this chip? SCU, oh, that might be promising. Uh-huh. I think we may have found it. Yeah, we just found it. BD bus. Okay, so BD bus is generated by IC5, which is the 5688 chip. So we'll work our way to that chip. So IC5. Let's find that on the board. Old age is a state of mind. Well, old age is two things. It's a state of mind and a state of body. And my body puts me at about 97 years old at this point. But you know, I'm old. Oh. Okay. Hey David, I hope you've got your tea and crimpets, old chap. Tea and crimpets, old bean. So we want IC5, I said, didn't I? So where's that on the board? So we've got, what IC is this that we're looking at? 14, so where's 5? 17, 19, 10. What's this? 37, 38. Six. Where is IC5? Am I blind? 10. 19. That's the M600. 68K, so that's a Motorola chip. Good old Mega Drive chip. What's that? IC17? 1, 2. I think I'm blind. Those are RAM, so it's not that. That's IC6. IC36. It's like I can find every chip except the one I'm looking for. 37. Found it. So IC5 is right here. This is IC5, so this is the one that should be generating the VD bus. Got your coffee and your crumpets. Oh, crumpets? I don't know what you're on about, mate. No, I only know about crumpets. Right, so we want pin 66, 7, 8. It sort of skips one and then goes through to 85. So we want to see if this chip's generating the VD, the BD bus. I keep saying VD. Right. Okay, so that's pin 66 through to 85. Remember that number. Hello, RW. So we're looking for pin 66 through to 85, I think I said. So that's going to be on this top row. I can just maneuver things into position. So there's a top row. So we're going to see if that bus is being generated at this point. If it is, we know that we've got a break somewhere on the line. If it isn't, then we know that it's either this chip or one feeding it. So the only downside is, even if we diagnose this, I don't exactly have any donor chips, and these are all custom Sega ones, so it would need a donor console. But let's see if we can get to the bottom of it first. So let's get that silk screen into view. 53, 66. Did I say 66? I've got the memory of a goldfish. 66, okay. 53, 54, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63. Wait. That's 55. 60. 65. Is that 66? Well, we're getting something there, aren't we? Look at that. That's some kind of data. What about here? No, that's high. Bet all of these are high. Yeah. Yeah. So we're at pin 70. 71. 72. So it looks to me like this chip isn't generating BD bus, because all of these are held high. Now what I don't know is what the CPU, well CPUs, because there's two of them, will be doing right now that might cause this to happen, because I believe the CPU talks straight to this. There are two CPUs, so let's just keep going anyway. Let's see if we're getting anything at all. I don't think we are. But my thought process is that perhaps, oh, we got something there. 50 hertz. Oh, 50 hertz. What runs at 50 hertz in a video signal? I'll give people points if they figure that one out. Oh, what we got here? 15 kilohertz. That is. Oh, okay. So these are video signals. Yeah, they're not doing anything. They're just syncs. Okay, anyway, we know for a fact that we're missing this BD bus, and we've got no activity on that bus. So we know it's not this chip. We've ruled out the VDP chips. Don't think those are bad. The chips are slightly warm. They're warm to the touch. Including the CPUs, they're kind of warm too. 68K stone cold. I mean, they're not shorted warm, but they're warm. So yeah. Okay, so let's work our way back then from that. So we know that we're not getting this bus generated. Yeah, you got it, RW. You got it. So, let's see. So 5688 is not generating BD bus. I'm only making the assumption that this chip generates BD bus. I could be wrong. I guess let's have a look round. Let's have a look round. So let's zoom out. I'm just going to enlarge this on the stream as well. So, what do the CPUs generate? Well, I guess the next step is to see if we've got any activity on the CPUs themselves. These CPUs communicate with each other. Looks like they communicate by these lines here. So what have we got? We've got data lines, 32 of them by the look of it. Yeah, 32 data lines. How many address lines? 26, 27. Okay. Well, the next thing I'm going to check, and I'm going to check this on a hunch. What's BD bus? BD bus, it appears to be the data bus that the graphics chips rely on to generate an image. Now, there's no activity on those, so there's no work for the graphic chips to do, which leads me to believe that it's either the system controller or one of these CPUs. Now, there was some corrosion around one of these CPUs. I actually lifted one of these CPUs previously. Cleaned up some of the corrosion damage and put it back. I know it's soldered in well though, so it's not that. But I didn't check the data and address lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around these chips. So we've got IC2 and IC1. The pinouts are going to be exactly the same, I think. Yeah. Yeah, they are. So what we're going to do, we're going to check a couple of things. We're going to check that they're both getting a clock, and we're going to check that we've got activity on the address lines and the data lines. So we'll start with IC1, I suppose, which is the master chip, because there's a master and a slave configuration on this thing. Yeah. So let's shrink down this diagram a little bit, and let's get SH2 IC1 into view. So let's do that. Let's also check what pins we need to check. So pin 1 through to 29 are all address line data lines. So let's try that. Let's try scoping those out first. So let's see, 1 through to 29. Okay. And we can check that on both chips as well. So if we... There we go, we got a CPU chip kind of in view. I'm going to shrink this handy dandy schematic down a bit more. So, I said pin 1 through to something, so let's find pin 1. Right, there it is. That wasn't hard. You ever thought of doing voiceovers as a sideline, calm voice? I actually do for work. I often do demos and stuff like that. You're not the only person to say that either. I take it as a compliment. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Naram. Let's have a look at what people are saying anyway. Let me catch up on chat. So, let's see. I'm about to do the big wire up of my setup so that I have 12 consoles hooked up at once, not a few. Figured out power, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Probably going to need a SCART switcher as well. Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Postal. Awesome. Welcome all newcomers. So, okay, so what we're going to do now then is we're going to check these data lines on this master CPU, and we're going to see if we get anything out at all on these. So we're going to start with pin 1. So we are getting something. Let's have a look. Let's have a closer look. It's probably going to be on a nanosecond scale, this. So we've got something, but it looks a bit off to me. Let's try moving our position a bit. And let's try adjusting our seconds per div. So what are we getting here? Like, doesn't this pattern look weird? I would have expected some kind of square wave, but no. Oh. That's suspicious to me. Let's try zooming in a bit. Because that doesn't look like a clock signal. But that is activity. Let's just roll with it. So we've got activity on 1 and 2. What about 3? Oh, I slipped. Yeah, we have something there. No, that looks a bit cleaner. I don't think the stream's crashed, has it, Jaden? But yeah, that's all over the place. So that data line seems active. Let's check the next data line. Oh, one of these wasn't a data line, was it? So what did we do? We went from pin 1, 2, 3, 4. What's pin 4 on the schematic? Sorry, I'm just leaning over to have a look. Okay, pin 4 is not a data line, so the next one that's a data line is pin 5, so that's this one here. Yeah, there's activity there. Good. Pin 6 I don't think is a data line. Just looking at that schematic, no it is not, so let's look at pin 7. Okay, so we've got activity on pin 7. On pin 8, let's have a look at pin 8. Looks like we have something. It just looks like noise, doesn't it? So, oh, that's interesting. So pin 8, is that definitely pin 8? 5, 6, 7, 8. And pin 8 is definitely a data pin, so that's high. That's being held high. Okay. Pin 9 is high. Pin this high? Okay. So some of these data lines seem to be doing something, and some of them are just held high. In fact, a lot of these are held high. Let's skip all the way up to pin 29. So let's go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 29. Yeah, they're all high. Oh, Michael, okay, I'm happy to tell you what this tool does. So this tool is an oscilloscope, and in simplest possible terms, what an oscilloscope does is it shows you voltage change over time. So you've got voltage on the y-axis, and on the x-axis is time. So this is a period of time, 2 milliseconds in this case, and peak to peak voltage. On this display, we've got our division set to 10 volts, so I guess what would this be? One division is 10 volts, so each of these little squares is 10 volts, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, blah, 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 blah. But this line here represents 0 volts, so yeah, I think that's right. Or am I talking out of my arse? Let me just do a quick measurement. Let's get one of those high lines again. Oh, God damn it, my stay grounded lead. Stop pulling off. It pulled off again. Hang on, while I was testing, was I not grounded again? Damn it. I should probably have soldered a wire onto the board for the ground. Anyway, let's... hang on. There we go. Let's just try... We had something on pin 1, didn't we? Yeah, so each of those squares now is 2 volts. And if we look at one of these high lines, I think 29 was high, so which one was that? That one? Yeah. So let's do that again. 5.6 volts is the mean, apparently. Pretty sure that should be 5 volts. That might explain a thing or two. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna take the old multimeter. Let's just check that. That seems high, doesn't it? 5.48. So how do I tell a good reading from a bad? Well, that's a genuinely good question, and yeah, it takes some figuring out sometimes. I mean, I'm not doing... Sorry, one sec. 9.8 there. So I'm not doing anything special here. I'm not looking at that and going, oh, that's definitely correct. I'm looking at it and just seeing, oh, there's activity there. I'm seeing it go up and down. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I don't really have the reference values that I need. 5.52. 3.6. I think these might all be a bit high, you know. I wonder. No, you can't do the same thing with a multimeter. A multimeter's not designed for that. A multimeter's just designed to show you a voltage, essentially, or... well, a multimeter, it's not just a voltage, you know, a multimeter's multi-purpose, whereas an oscilloscope is specifically designed for measuring over time. A multimeter just can't do that. An oscilloscope's a pretty useful tool for this kind of diagnostic as well. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked, so I was checking the data lines. The data lines on IC1, which is the main CPU, don't appear to be doing anything. What about the second one? Let's have a look at the second one. So let's get that into view. Where is the second chip? There it is. You can probably see the flux around it. That's because that's been removed and put back on. Do I use it lots? Not really. Not really. It has its uses, and it has its uses for these kind of weird esoteric faults that are kind of not a standard thing. Infinitely more useful, really, as a multimeter. Alright, so we're getting something on that. We're getting something there. And there. We're getting something on that. And I bet these all start going high. Okay. Yeah. So we've checked the data lines, and the data lines are basically all high except for the first few. Yeah, I did use it on the SNES. But it absolutely depends what you repair. It really does. So, next thing we want to check then are some of the address lines for these chips. Let's see. Let's flip back over to that schematic. What pins are those? So we want to be looking at pin... Looks like we want to be looking at pins 30 right up to 6... Wait. Yeah, 30 through to 61. That makes sense. 32. 32 address. I wonder if each of those represents a bit. 32-bit bus. That would make sense. So, yeah. 32-bit address bus. That makes total sense. Okay. So... So, what did I say? Pin 30 through to 61, I think. So, have I gone too high? Where am I? Who am I? So pin 30 starts up here, so let's move that over hither. So that's 35, so that's 30. What have we got? Nothing. Ah. We do there. We do there. Okay, that's high. Alright, let me bring that into view. There we go. That was low. High. So I was at 35, 40, 45. So there's no real activity on the address lines, apart from maybe two, and no real activity on the data lines either, except for a few of the lower ones. So that's leading me to think, that maybe it's because we've traced back and we're basically at the CPUs at this point. They would initially talk to the BIOS, load up the BIOS and execute the BIOS code. And we would be able to see that on screen if it was doing anything. So I think that maybe the problem is in this area, or maybe the power circuitry that feeds it. So I guess the next thing to do then maybe is to check the clock signals on these chips and check the reset lines on these chips and see what they're doing. So let's take a look at the clock pin. So where's the clock pin? We're looking for CLK, people. Oh, XTAL. Must be that. I think. Probably XTAL, because that means crystal. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, so we want to check pin 114, 116, and on a hunch 104 as well, but let's go with 114 and 116 for now, as I scooch around. Where's 114? 114, 114, 114, 118, 118. Wait a minute. That's pin 108. Did I say 114? Oh, 104. 114. 116. Okay, so that's going to be along here. So that's 107, 106, 105, 104. Hello. Wait, no. No, I'm getting mixed up. I wanted 114. Crikey. 108. 144, 108. 108, 109. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nothing. I'm just going to probe all of these. I don't think we have a clock. The amount of scooching I'm doing. So That's interesting. So I'm looking at this schematic now, and I'm looking for 114 and 116. We had nothing there, really. What we'll do is we'll check the slave chip and see if that has got the same on it. So 114 and 116. On the slave, which is this chip right here. You can see some of my repair work on the traces there. Pretty sure it's nothing related to that though. Anyway, look at my fluxy nightmare. So it was on the bottom, wasn't it? So we were looking for 114, 116. What? These look like they're numbered differently. So you're saying that's 108, 109, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What are we getting? That's just low, isn't it? You know, we're getting something that almost looks like a clock there. What's going on here? Oh my god, look at that! Whoa! Something ain't right. How are we not getting that on the other chip? Let's just confirm the pin we're on. So 109, 110, 11, 12, 13, 14. What is going on with this? I'm definitely grounded properly, aren't I? Hang on. Okay, that's definitely grounded properly. I'm doing that manually by hand. I know you can't see very well on my probing there, but that's definitely not a stable clock anyway, so I think... No, Michael, it's not a good read. Let me show you what a good read would look like. Let me just take one of the measurement from one of the crystals. You'll see what a good waveform looks like in a second, at least for a clock signal anyway. 1 second. So a good clock signal, stop pinging off, should look something like... Oh, I don't even have an hand free. Hold up. Hold up. That's what a good clock signal should look like. You see how that's a nice smooth sine wave we've got going there? That's 20 megahertz sine wave. That's just me measuring one of the crystals. That's a stable read, so that's kind of what you expect. But, like, again, the crystal's not actually the master clock. The master clock's being generated in the region where there was some damage to this board, actually. Looks like a DC wave to you. I think you might mean an AC wave. AC wave. But yeah, an AC wave is a sine wave, so yeah, you're totally right. Okay. So it looks like it's something related to the clock circuit. It looks like we've got a bad clock. Let's go back to the schematic then. So going back to the schematic, xtal MCLK the problem here is we've got, I believe, a clock for I/O, a clock for CKP ACK, CKP rec, so acknowledge request and something. I'm not quite sure what those would be used for. What we want to check is the master clock though. Now what was interesting is I didn't see that on the... I didn't see that wobbly waveform on the first chip. Well, on this chip here, I didn't see that crazy wobbly waveform. So let's just double check that I'm not being dumb, because I frequently am. I'm just making sure I get this grounded right. It's kind of hard with an alligator clip. Excuse me. So 114, 108, no, 108, 109, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that doesn't seem to have anything. Next one across. That's interesting. Hey Bane, this has got a black screen. What we've done so far is we've been tracing back through the circuitry. So we checked the RGB encoder chip. The RGB encoder chip was just getting high on the RGB ins. So we followed that back to the VDP2 chip, which is what generates the RGB signals for the RGB encoder chip. That wasn't outputting any RGB. So then we went back to what feeds that, which was, I think it was an ASIC chip. That ASIC chip didn't seem to be getting anything on the BD bus. So we then looked at the BD bus, which is fed by the CPUs, and the CPUs don't seem to be doing anything. And looking at them, one doesn't seem to have a clock, and the other seems to have an unstable clock, which could mean that we have a problem with a crystal. It could mean that we have a problem with some part of the timing circuitry. So we're going to have to take a look and figure that out, I suppose. Yeah, DC's meant to be straight, Jaden, you're right, and AC's wavy, because AC's alternating. It alternates between a positive and a negative polarity at any given moment. It's actually quite interesting how it works, because it generates a... where's my hand? It generates a sine wave like that. And what happens is, to make that useful, you've got to make it into a DC current, and to do that, you've basically got to rectify it, smooth it out, and then provide it to whatever. And that involves using things like rectification diodes, transformers, chopper transistors to sort of feed a very high frequency signal through a transformer, and then rectify, feed high frequency through transformer, then do a whole bunch of smoothing to it. Power supplies are interesting, if a little scary. A little while ago, about a month or two ago, I was messing around with a PlayStation 1. Like, what I did there was absolutely insane. Now I actually know how switch mode power supplies work. Like, I was an absolute moron. But hey-oh. Okay, so I wanted to check pin 118, didn't I? Let's just do that real quick on both chips. So, where are we at? So, 110, 120. Wait, no, it's not going up by 10, is it? 110. 115, 120, 1918. Hello. So we do have something. So peak to peak, that is 4.8 volts, and it's running at 26.7 26.6875 megahertz is what that's running at. I did MacGyver your Saturn power supply, but that was a DC power supply. No, it wasn't. It was both. I just MacGyvered it together. Yeah, you are right. On 10, 15, 20, 20, 119, 118. So both are getting that signal. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah, so if you take a look, they're both getting a 26.6875 megahertz signal. But then when we go to, what was it, 114 and 116. 10, 115, 116. Yeah, we get nothing there. And we get nothing there. No, I keep slipping. Nothing there. And nothing there. Yeah, that beeping you can hear is a smoke alarm. It's out in the hallway. It's not in my apartment, but every now and then it beeps to say its battery's low. And obviously my landlord doesn't really care about health and safety, so, you know, I might just replace it myself at some point. So we want to look at xtal and extal. I did get the BGA station basically working, Bane, yeah. Yeah, I did. I did a few upgrades to it actually. I gave it some Elstein bottom heaters and a mostly working top heater. Okay, so what I'm going to do now then, I need to find Xtal. But annoyingly, this thing I'm sharing here that you guys can see, I can't actually search it, which is kind of what I need to do. So just bear with me, and I'm gonna look through this service manual to find the right page for it. Xtal. Ah, show me where you are. Interesting. So EXTAL and XTAL. Where was that? Pin 73, 74. SH1 CPU. Hang on a minute. Is this lying to me? What the what? Hang on, what page is this? This is page 50. Or is that a different chip? SH1. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You know, it might be cool if I just show you folks what I'm doing. Let's do that. Bear with me one sec. Just got to close some things. Right. You're gonna lose me just for a second. And I'm back for a moment. I'm creating a new scene. Bear with me. Okay, you should be able to hear me now at least. And then if we do desktop capture. Where's desktop capture? Display capture. Now we'll do a window capture. Yeah, there we go. Where would we be without publicly accessible schematics? Now, wouldn't it be amazing if modern consoles had this? How great would that be? Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, it's just because I'd skipped somewhere random in this document. I was looking for it. I was Control-Fing Xtal, so... Xtal... X1... I'm wondering, you see, what my thought process is that we've got a problem with the clock circuitry now. Which would explain why most things are being held high. X101 20 megahertz, huh? Well, that's on a different chip. Yeah, this is the debug process. Measure, figure things out, find where your next probing point is. Measure, figure things out, find where the next probe point is. Goof up, backtrack. MCLK. That's for the VDP. You see, I don't know what this feeds. It says 16.111.131, but what does that mean, right? Like, it looks like it suggests that's another part of the circuitry somewhere else. Like, here. And here. And 118, I think we did get that. I think that was the 20 megahertz signal. But these, maybe these, I don't know, they must be needed. Surely they're needed. Maybe I can trace it out on the board, but then again it ran under the chips, didn't it? That might be quite hard to find. This looks really boring. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. What did you expect? Fireworks, explosions, like strippers, like... I don't know what you're looking for. You're looking at electronics repair. Anyway. Love me some fireworks. Best I can do is tripping my breaker. Right, let's get back to the board. And while I'm at it, 118. I'll just double check that on. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so we're getting that clock frequency. Alright, so I wish I knew where those lines went. We do have a crystal right here. What are we getting? Hello, so we've got a 4 megahertz signal there. And there, if a little bit wobbly. I'm getting a bit stumped. I'm getting a bit stumped, so I'm not 100% sure on this one. Let's just very carefully move this power supply. This area that I'm about to bring into view, this area had a number done on it. Whoever had originally tried to recap this had basically ripped out the plated through holes. I tried repairing it and then I just undid it and just soldered straight to components with the caps because, you know, why didn't I do that in the first place? Yeah, I'm getting a bit stumped though. I'm not entirely sure now. So I'm not sure if it's related to these two Xtal inputs that these SH2s are expecting, or if it's something different. I mean, a timing circuit problem would make sense. I guess what I need to figure out then is what actually feeds those pins. You class a hairdryer to revive a PS3 as a repair. Oh, don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. You're buying time at best if you do that. What you're doing, if you heat it up and it comes back to life, by the way, if you're using something like a hairdryer, you've basically just temporarily resurrected the GPU chip. Hello. Hello, PLL IC20. Hello, I wonder if it's this. Ooh. I wonder if it's this. So, let me show you what I just discovered. I think it was up here. Yeah, looking at this block diagram. This suspicious little bad boy right here. IC20, huh? Alright. Oh, would you look at that? SCPU clock, SCSP clock, and all the MCLKs, master clocks. Well, Jason, if it's worked for you, and it continues to work, well, you know what? Don't question it. If it worked, it worked. Heat can revive NEC tokens, yeah. Usually that kind of fix, though, is sort of temporary. More often than not, it's a temporary fix. Not necessarily, but... Anyway, so... This. Suspicious. So, IC20. Let's have a look. IC20. Show me the money. Aha. We have the pinouts. What page is this? 18. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 14. 16. Hello, IC20. So maybe we've got a problem with one of the components around IC20 or IC20 itself. That would make sense. Alright. This is a tough one. This is a tough cookie. That block diagram was quite useful. Ah, great. So we've got test points. TP84, TP85, 86, 19, 20, 21. Are there any other test points that are useful to us? That we might need to check? Okay. Well, let's check these anyway, shall we? So, hey Bane, it's not 45 nanometer, it's a 40 nanometer on the PS3. Oh, Portal, are you talking about, oh, which one is it? Was it Far From Home? Spider-Man? I think it was Far From Home, right? Now, IC20, where are you hiding? Oh look, we found IC20. Interesting. Okay. So we may have a problem in this area. Now this area did have damage. You can see I had to botch in some caps that I installed as well. Like you see how the legs are just bypassing. So that was a thing we had to do. I wonder. So what we want are the test points. Does anybody see pads labeled TP? Let's hide the diagram just for a moment. What? Where's my cursor? Ow. Wow. Wow. So we're looking for test points. They might be on the underside of the board. That's very well possible. So we're probably going to have to flip it, which is a bit awkward with the power supply. Which is getting sufficiently warm. Let me just unplug it so that I can flip it over. Yeah, I've heard good things about the new Batman as well, actually. I've not seen it. I want to. I did like Far From Home. Right. So... let's see if we can find those test points, shall we? So it's probably this area. I see TP19. TP23. What were those two test points? Just ultrasonic the board. It has been ultrasonicked actually. Nah, but that was because I'd done some soldering work and then I ended up doing more soldering work, so I undid all my ultrasonic cleaning goodness. Right, I even shotgunned this board. If you're not sure what shotgunning a board means, it means redoing a lot of the solder joints. I redid all the chips basically just on the off chance there were a bad connection somewhere. So let's have a look. There's a test point. 92. What else do we have? Is 92 one of the ones we need? No. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a red permanent marker, Sharpie, if we are American, and I'm going to mark out the test points we need. So first of all, let's try and find TP21. We got 23. Do we need 23? Twenty-three, 20, 21. No. We do need 19, 20, 21. Okay. If anyone spots TP 19, 20 or 21, let me know. Do we need 92? I think I already asked this. I'm going around in circles. No? Okay. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I just spotted something. Let's see if you folks can spot this as well. Where's CE8? Is that meant to be there? No, you can't use a 28 nanometer RSX on the cock 2 boards. If you do that, you'll break your cock. You don't want to break your cock. So, CE8. CE8. Let's look at the tech wiki. Saturn tech wiki. Might be unpopulated. It's not in this list, look. Okay. That might be fine. Was it ever populated on any of these? Okay. False alarm. Can you say crack my finger backwards? No, I can't, because I'm not a moron. Well, yes, I am. Actually, I'm a complete moron. Yeah. I take it back. Now, let's get back to what we were doing anyway. Why does it have solder if it was never populated? Ah! I can tell you exactly why. In fact, I can show you. I can show you. It's moderately interesting. So, let me find it on the board. There it is. See this? These are wave soldered. So a literal wave of solder goes over the board during its manufacture. And any unpopulated pads get solder on them. I assume they're masked as well, but pretty sure that's how that works. If any engineers on the chat want to correct me though, feel free. Right, let's find these test points. So we want 19, 20 and 21 test points. I think they're going to be in this general area that we're looking at. So, are we doing that all the way? No. Right. Kinda don't want to bend this, but yeah, nothing under it. Okay. Whoop. It might be that all the test points sit on the bottom side of the board. Yeah, I'm not seeing any on the top side. No. Okay. Whew. Okay. You find that. Okay. Let me refocus things for everyone, including me. Right. Hold up. TP 19 and 20. I think I need those. Yeah, I do. Okay, let me mark them. Do I need 84? I do need 84. Oh, great. We've found some of the test points. 21. Did we need 21? We did. Okay, great. 21. Where's 21? There. Oops. Hold up. Got to remove that. Face reveal. Give me a second and I will. I've shown my face before. I just generally don't because I'm an ugly fucker. There we go. Pardon my French. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need the other test points. Do we need 22? I don't think so. We do need 84, 85, 86. What did we mark? 84. There they are. Next to SMD caps. Hold up a minute. Huh. I wonder. I wonder. Oh, I ain't as pretty as I sound. 84, 85, 86. 84, 85, 86, yeah. 1920. So we're just missing... We're just missing... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just missing 21, I think. So we just got to find 21. Where's 21? I can see 22. Wait, I've marked 21. 21. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've got all our test points. So that's a start. That's a start. It is a customer Saturn Bane, yeah. How do I say that? Is it Bine? Bane? Bine? Be-in Xilex? Yeah, this is a customer's. He's on the stream, or he was earlier. I'm not sure if he still is. But, might be. Wait a minute. Are you aground? I think you are. Yes. You will do. Right, what we'll do is we'll power it on and then we'll, like Bean. Bean Xilex. Bean Xilex. Right, I've powered it up again. Let's see what we're getting. So let's test in order of the schematic. So first of all, we're going to test MCLK4, which is test point number 84, which is one of these, that one. Okay, that's fine, that's good, that looks stable. So we've got 26.6875 megahertz. Next, we're going to test mClock 3, which is test point 85. Whoops, slipped. We're now getting 26.6875. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the same. mClock 2, test point 86. Same again. mClock 1 is on test point 19. Which is 20... Are they all the same? Are they all exactly the same? Uh-huh. They all look like the same signal, don't they? I guess that makes sense, because they're just all... Yeah, they are the same signal. You can even see it here. See? Okay. Clock's good. I'm running out of ideas. I'm running out of ideas. No, Tom, I'm not charging by the hour. There will be a point soon where I call it on this, though. You know, I've I've given it a good bit of time. But yeah, I think the clock circuitry's fine. I'm a little puzzled. Well, there was IC20 just here. So hold up. What's this? SCPU clock. EXT clock. Pin 6 and pin 5. Pin 6 and pin 5. Alright. Okay, we can probe that out. Let's probe that out. It takes practice. It takes practice. What you're seeing me do here is it's largely the kind of thing that you can lose hours to, you know. And it comes from practice, and I can't claim to be any kind of expert because I'm really not. You know, I've just sort of self-taught, read things, you know. Well, there's something going on there. Oh, rubbish. I slipped. I slipped again. Okay, we've got a nice square wave. Is cereal a soup? I mean, that's a good question. It's a milk soup. TP22, did we? I saw TP22 somewhere. Anyway. Huh. So we expected a clock on these chips, didn't we? And we weren't getting it. Right. I think it's time for me to take a short break, because I'm getting nicotine cravings. So I'm going to mull over where we're at the minute. So we got to the point where we were checking CPUs and it looked like they were missing clocks. So I'm going to look at the CPU diagrams while I ingest nicotine. And then we're going to come back, we're going to check the CPU again, but we're going to check all the pins that deal with any kind of clock. And if we're missing the clock, we know we're generating the clock successfully on the board. We've scoped that out. We can see it, which would imply that perhaps there is a break in a trace somewhere between the clock circuitry and the CPU. That's my current line of thinking, but I'm going to go think it over, and I'll be back soon. So I shall give you lovely folk a nice little intermission screen with "Be Right Back." And I shall see you all very, very soon. Right, I'm back. So, what we're going to do, probe out reset on the CPU, and then we're going to trace that back. So let's just come up a little bit, get that into focus. There we go. So, hello. So let's have a look. Let's I think I wanted, what did I want? I want to look at IC9 and the CPU. So let's just have a look for the CPU first. I think it was above this, maybe. Yeah, okay, we found it. We've found it. So we want what pin? 122. We want to look at 122. Let's see what that's doing on the scope. So where's 122? 122. 110, 15, 20. Ah, I see it. So 122, we got 110, 15, 20. So 21, 22 is this one. Reset is being held high. Now, I'm not sure if on this chip it needs to be held high or low to be in the reset state. I'm not actually sure. So, let's just check that we're getting the same on the other one, on the other CPU. I'm not sure if it needs to go low to be reset or the other way around. Either or, who knows. So we wanted 122. So 110, 15, 20. That's definitely right. 110, 115, 120, 122. Hey, up. 108, 109, 109, 110, 15, 20, 21, 22. Now that's interesting, isn't it? So one of these CPUs is being held in a reset state and the other isn't. Now I'm assuming that they both share the same pin out. I'm just going to double check. They should do because they're the same chip. So let's look at the slave chip. (122) reset. So one of these chips is getting 5 volts on the reset line and the other is getting 0 volts. So that may be indicative of what our fault is here. Which would imply that if we were to check another chip's reset pin that's connected to that same thing, that's connected to that same reset circuit, we should be able to see if that's also getting 5 volts or 0 volts. One of these might just have a broken trace somewhere. It's definitely possible. But I think we're getting a lot closer to the source of the problem for this Saturn now. Because we've got the clock signals, but it looks like one of these CPUs is in a reset state and one isn't. Now I'm not, like I say, I don't know whether 5 volts indicates that it's in a reset state or whether it's 0, a low state, indicating that it's in a reset state. But either way, one of the chips is in 5 volts reset, one is in 0. The slave is in 0, so it might be that one is stuck in a reset and one isn't. Now the one that looks like it's stuck in reset, or the one that's got 0 volts at least, is the one that also had a little trace repair done on it at the top. Now I guess we can check which pins here we repaired. So looking at that, 37, 38, 39, 40. So that's pin 37, 38, 39, 40. So if we've repaired pin, where's my tweezers? We have repaired 40, 41, 42, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 and 45. So let's just check what pins 44 and 45 do. (44) and 45 are address lines. So I don't think we have anything to worry about there. I don't think that trace repair has done anything really that we need to worry about. I would have expected both of these to have the same reset value. I'm pretty sure they'd be fed by the same master reset. So that says MSH reset for the master, and for the slave, is it the same thing? No, it's not. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's SSH reset and MSH reset. Okay, so so they both have a different reset state. The slave has a different reset state to the master. So that's interesting. MSH reset. Let's take a look at one of these VDP chips. Let's have a look at this. Actually, let's look at this. Is this generating the reset state? this is the thing, it's detective work. You've got to kind of dig through your schematics and sort of look at things and go, okay, so that does this thing, that does that thing. Let's hunt it down. So, what do we have? So that's a system controller unit, I think. I don't see anything related to resets on this chip. I see sys reset. 22. They're all pointing to this 22. Anything reset related has this 22 next to it. It's very hard to figure out where that would be, though. Do any of these describe reset? Not that. It's not going to be that, because that's the video expansion board. Reset control. SCE2. IC9. IC9. Where's IC9? Oh, this is... It's a bit of a pain that all I can do is scroll on this. IC14. So I want... What page do I want? I want page 21 and 22. Bit of scrolling. Bit of scrolling. This is what we want. IC35, CS, reset. It looks like the controller ports. Video ports. RGB chip. Okay, I'm not sure which is the reset output. I'm not sure if this pin 15 is an output or an input. It looks like an input. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. So that's IC9. We'll check that in a moment. I am going to check one of the VDPs. Super quick. I'm going to check one of the reset pins on it. I'm assuming that when it's at 5 volts, it's actually, when it's being held high, it's not in a reset state. That's what I think. But I'm not 100% sure, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at pin 16 of VDP1. Which is what I see. I see 10. Which is over here. It's this beefy bad boy. And what pin was it? It was pin 16. Which is down here. Five, 10, 15, 16. What do we got? That's high. Okay. Hey, we got a clock as well. Okay. So that's high. What I want to know is if reset is high or low. I really want to know that. Alright, anyway. Anyway. Now we gotta find. Now we have to find IC 9. So we got IC 10. That's IC 19. $17. Where's 9? $37, $38. That's going to be RAM. IC 6. IC 39. I can find everything that I said. I think I got it. So it's down here, this chip. Just got to move that power supply out of the way. It's getting in my way. So on this chip, we need to be checking pin 15 by the look of it. Which is along here. Okay. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that pin is being held high. So we've traced all the way back to this chip. I wonder if we've got a dodgy transistor somewhere. We might have, you know. So let's go from that 15. So we want to be looking at IC 35. which could be anywhere. Of course it could be. Well, there's 25. I definitely said 35, didn't I? Yeah. 25, 26, 27, 31, 6. There's no rhyme or reason to the order of these either. I believe it is right here. I think this here could potentially be the source of our trouble. Maybe. So that should be hooked up to a diode, a cap, a couple of resistors. And would you look at that, it's also hooked to the reset switch. I wonder if we have a bridge on the VCC line. So we've got pin 1, 2 and 3. Let's clean that chip up a bit. I'm not actually sure which pin is 1. Okay, I assume it's where the arrow is, maybe. It's hard to tell. Let's see what the multimeter's giving us on it. Be gone, foul dirt. I don't want... Get lost. Get. Scram. 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 Yeah, now the thing is, if you were an actual, like, repair shop, these kind of repairs would just take way too long. They're not financially viable, really. I mean, I guess they are if you charge enough for it. So maybe I need to adjust that at some point. But anywho. So what we need to find if we can find R141, we should be able to follow that trace to find the reset, which is probably going to be connected to a ribbon connector on the front. So this is an interesting one, and it looks like the traces that feed it, that's ground. So it's connected to ground on the left. There. Oh, it looks like my multimeter software's died. Hang on. Right. Back at it. So, what are we getting? We're getting on this doohickey 5 volts, 5 volts, and that's our ground, 5 volts. Right, I'm going to power it off, and we're going to follow those traces around. Hello, hello, hello. Do I see me a cold solder joint? And was that? No. We're looking for R141. Ah, where is it? Anyone sees 141, holler. You 131. OCD is getting the best of me now. 1 second, I just want to reflow that. distracting myself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, look, we're one away. Just one away. Where is it? Where is it? Playing Where's Waldo? Where's the bloody resistor? Let me get some of this crap off screen for a minute. Yeah, I'll get that rubbish off screen. I'll get rid of that. So we just got a pure microscope view. Right, we're looking, as I say, for resistor 141 and also 69. And no, I'm not making a joke. I really need to find 69. 141 and 69. Ha ha ha. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. This is why board view software is so nice. Have you ever watched Lewis Rossman? He just brings up board view software with board views for his MacBooks, and he knows it, like, he can just find whatever he wants immediately. I just kind of wish I could do that right now. The problem with schematics is, you know, they don't give you all the info. Could be on the other side of the board though. Nothing going on in the chat. Okie dokie. R21, 2022. Is that one even labelled? Oh, it's going to be under this cap. Not what I'm looking for. 107. R2, R3. Yeah, I'm being pretty quiet myself, RW as well. You can tell I'm just kind of like focusing. It's tough, it's real tough. Where in the nutsacks is R141? Why is it always hard to find the one thing you're looking for, right? I'm just not seeing it. I literally want to test one resistor and I can't friggin' find it. Classic. Am I gonna have to literally look at the whole board? Please don't make me do that. Fine, we'll do that. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, let's just go left to right. Do a search pattern. Is it any of those? No. Is it any of those on top? No. Okay. Moving on. So what we got here, we've got 201, 198, no, 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 no. It's none of those, it's none of those. It's none of those, it's not that. It's not that. It's none of that bank. These don't really appear to be actually labelled. Those two are 131, 132. Okay, they are labelled, it's just hard to read. No, it's these ones. I'm not sure what these ones are. R69. Wait a minute, I wanted to check R69, didn't I? Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm listening to Ladytron and shipping magic cards, but I'm still here. Also, if you're in the US and want to sell me your magic cards, hook it up. I am not in the United States, unfortunately for me. It would make my life a lot easier, actually, if I was. Because that is where my significant other is from. Okay, that seems fine. Let's get that focus up. So it looks like the way this works is R69 here looks like a pull-up resistor. I think pressing reset will pull it down. So I think plus 5 volts means that reset isn't the problem. So I don't think we have a reset problem either then. Oh, this is getting more crazy. So where the heck then does D1? Okay, so that was 10k. I measured 10k. That's fine. I assume then if VCC is pulled down, that's going to trigger reset. So it looks like the second chip is in a reset state, the slave chip, and the primary master chip is not in a reset state because it's held high. But the slave is low, which may just be normal behavior. I don't know. I'd actually have to meter a working Saturn. I do have a working Saturn. I could check that on. But I think at this point, this is just a rabbit hole to hell. I think I can keep checking things and going around the board, but it's going to be very difficult to figure out exactly what the fault here is. I really don't know. If I could find R141 though, that would be helpful. Yeah, looking at this circuit diagram, it looks like the switch pulls it down. And then that triggers the reset. So one CPU is in a reset state, one isn't. Now I don't know if that is the cause of the problem, if both CPUs need to be running at the same time, or if it only requires a single CPU to operate until a program that calls for both of the processors gets involved, like a game. So this is a tough one. This is a very tough one. But R141 should be in this area. Hold up. resistor is that? Ay, 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 ay. I see a fuse. Yep. Ah, I'm running out of ideas. R19, R6, R137. Oh, okay, so that's 137. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas. I'm not sure. I'm going to power it on one last time. Remove that probe from that power terminal. I'm shorting that out. I'm going to see what happens. This is the whole... I fixed one cold solder joint. Was it that? My brain's thinking, nah, of course it's not. But there's a tiny part of me that hopes. To be honest, RW, if I don't get it working now, like if I can't find this fault, I'm probably just going to call it time because, you know, it's just a waste. It's just a waste of my time at this point. Again, there's nothing overtly, obviously wrong. Let's find out. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, it's definitely plugged in. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, you might be right, Tom. You might be right. That didn't feel like it went in all the way. No, it's not getting any sync at all. I didn't even really do anything other than reflow a dodgy resistor. I don't know, this thing's just this thing's a mystery. Good night, Raj, have a good one. It's coming close to my bedtime, so I've got work in the morning, so I've got to wrap up in a minute, whether I want to or not. Huh. The mystery deepens! Also, it really doesn't feel like that pushed in anywhere near far enough. Is he getting spark and compression? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to look for. I've not a clue. Ugh. You know what? I think it is time. I think it is time now. This thing has thrown me for an absolute loop. And now apparently it's not even getting RGB syncs. That's very odd. Very, very odd. Yeah, Gaza, I think I'm going to have to call it. I really do. I'm going to have to call it time on this. If I think of anything else when I sleep on it, I might try something else, but I think I'm more than probably just going to call it on this one. Yeah, I think this is the end for this Saturn, quite possibly. It's not necessarily that it's not fixable. It's just a case of, you know, what is the problem? The only thing I could think to start doing now is to start randomly swapping chips from a working Saturn, and I kind of don't want to do that. You know, there's plenty of chips on there. I mean, I know I'd probably start with these two, the VDPs. I think the CPUs are okay. They're all generating heat. You know, they're all slightly warm. Like, they're not short-circuited warm, but they're all slightly warm, you know. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Not a clue. Right, anyway, folks. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away from the way these things can be diagnosed. More often than not, it will turn up the fault. But this one, it's just a bit of a, it's a bit of a mystery to me right now. Yeah. These things often are, you know. It's going to turn out, I'm going to find out that the reset line should actually be low and not high, or something stupid like that. It could be something really daft like that, but it looked like it was in a pull-up resistor configuration until the reset switch is pressed, so... Have I tried turning off and back on again? I did, actually. I did. But... let me unplug that. Replug it. That is all the way in. That is unplugged. Let's just make sure this hasn't pulled out. Nope, that's good. Nope, no sync. That's strange. It was syncing. Who knows? Who knows? Test the video output pins in the scope. I'll do that briefly, but I am going to bed in a minute. Actually, I'll just do this on the camera view. I don't need the scope. Yeah, they're all low. R, G, B. That's funny, I swear they were all high before. Huh. Strange. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Although I did bend a cap a couple of times, I might have loosened a connection or something. You know, it could be any number of things, right? Hang on. There is one thing I need to check. The rabbit hole. Yeah, that's still soldered. I thought it might have come off. No, it's fine. No, don't know. Don't know. I ain't got a Scooby. Right. Anyway, let's... Did that make a difference? Did that make a difference? No. Okay. Right. I'm out of here, folks. I'm out of here. And on that disappointment, I'm going to wish you all a good night, a good day, a good evening. Take care all. And as always, bye for now. Ciao.